just dropped me off. Guess I'm doing this thing. Guess I'm doing it, guys. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you follow me on Instagram, you know a few things. I'm changing the name. I need to get a new plate, but the channel's changing the name to EM Driven as opposed to EDM Cars or EM Cars. Reason is because I feel like when I'm ranking in the searches, there's another YouTuber, no fault of him because he's bigger, been around longer than me. I don't know, maybe about the same time, but at least when I really start focusing on car reviews, obviously how the ranking works is the bigger channels seem to rank higher and they're always gonna be number one in searches. But I have Eddie X, who is, you know, if I got Eddie M cars and I got Eddie X, people type in Eddie and that's usually the first thing. Also, there's another channel, another company called Exclusive Motor Cars, and they go by EM Cars. So anytime you like Googles me or searches me, hashtags, anything, or a at EM Cars, or, you know, it's like they type in EM Cars, Exclusive Motor Cars comes up. If you type in at Eddie M, before you get to type in the full thing for it to come up, a lot of times Eddie X populates. So I thought I need less competition. When I was Edward M Cars, it was perfect. No one else was competing with me. I'm doing other things too. I think I want to do kind of more of a lifestyle because I'm into a lot of things. I'm into aviation too. I'm not saying this channel is completely going to switch to a different thing. I'm still going to be car content, but I want to throw some other things in here too. I originally started my private pilot license training, and I took the expensive route. So most people train in a Cessna, they go cheaper. I know that my career isn't going to end in a commercial, which actually, you know what, I'm gonna start let me start a new channel, whole new video on this. So this is gonna be a whole new video. The video, this purpose is going to be about the Audi SQ5. I sold it and it was listed. I actually took it to a dealership and they took it from me and the car is gone, just like that. And I know I made videos in the past how I was gonna keep this car and how it's great daily, and those things didn't go away. The biggest thing for me is I have this X7 M50i. This X7 is my family vehicle. It does everything well. Then I have my wife's SUV, BMW X3 M40i. That's her car. It's a little bit smaller. It's what she likes to drive, you know, especially when she's hauling around our little one, and it's perfect for her. Having the SQ5 felt a little redundant because you really got three SUVs now in the family. I got something that was more along the lines of back to where I was before. And I know it feels like I'm going around in circles because I had Type R, sold Type R, had Tesla, sold Tesla, but I'm back to Tesla. I'm back to a Tesla Model 3 Performance. I was really considering the Plaid, but after considering what the Model 3 does for acceleration and how I'm driving the car, what I'm using the car for, it didn't make any sense for me to have another fast sedan. I need something that was efficient and practical, but still fun. And this car checked all the boxes. The car does everything the Plaid does. It has the front and rear screen, and it has the heated, ventilated seats. It's a little bit smaller. Don't get me wrong, it is a little bit smaller, but at the same time as while I do spend a lot of time in my car, my daily, this is plenty. This is actually a little bit bigger. It feels like, for leg room, a little bit bigger than the Audi. And it's just more efficient. I was spending so much money in gas. It was just ridiculous how much money I was putting into the Audi. I had a bit tank at least, but at the time I was like $100 to $130 a week. And just fuel costs. And you gotta think too, a German SUV, I gotta maintain it. I had to maintain it. and putting all that money into the Audi was just like, didn't seem worth it when I got to maintain, obviously, these other two SUVs and M3. So that's why I was like, you know what, let me look around. I looked for all the other EVs, looked for other cars. I test drove. I really wanted the BMW M340i. Almost bought one. Well, I found one for a price over at the BMW Concord. And it just didn't have adaptive cruise control, and I really wanted with adaptive cruise control, but also had a budget, and I was trying not to go over that budget too, of $55,000. And I was like, all right, whatever I can do 55, that's where I'm at. But what pushed me over the edge? This is where I was. I had two offers on a Plaid. I had one in Florida. I couldn't see. It was red. Not this red. This is ultra red, but the other red was the older red, the red multi-coat. It was a 2022 Model S Plaid with 35,000 miles. I'll show you the pictures here. Then I looked at that Plaid, and I found a private seller locally for around the same price. Had a little bit less miles. It was white, which I'd like the white too. And I drove up to see it. We test drove it. Made him an offer, just a little bit less. I think he was wanting like 50 something, 54, or no, 57, whatever it was. But I made him offer like $2,000 less. I said, look, the car's got a bang on the scratch on the bumper. And he was open. He pointed out to me the driver's seat didn't work. There's a few little nuances things that he said the car's under warranty, which I could fix it, but still I have to go through that process and assume that everything was gonna be fixed. And what if I get there and they say the car's not covered under warranty? So I asked, just, hey, would you be willing to accept this? And it was a fair offer, but ghosted me. So I started looking for a Plaid. I was like, all right, I think I really want a Plaid. I said, you know what, because I just don't want to get bored for 3 again. The Plaid's going to be everything I need. It's got the space, everything else. My wife was like, kind of like, well, you got the SUV for luxury. You got the SUV for space. Why do you need your daily driver to be faster than everything else you got, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, it's not really about the speed. I'd want the range too, but the bigger car. Plus I have, I've already done Model 3 before once. Why do it again? Try something different this time. What got me was when I test drove 3 Model 3s. I test drove 3 of them. I rented one. I did overnight test drives. I had 2 overnight test drives. I did the final overnight test drive after driving a Model S. I think I test drove a Model 3. I was like, I don't like this thing. But when I drove it again, I took it back in. The lady at the Tesla showroom said, hey, okay, but we're about the end of Q1. And I know Tesla always have deals. The problem with Tesla is you can always wait. There's always something better. And then sometimes things go away. You be like, wait, and all of a sudden things go away. And you're like, man, I wish I just bought. But most of the time in Tesla is like, you can wait. But if you don't pull the trigger at some point, you're going to also be waiting and waiting and waiting. Because there's always something else where it's like, oh, wait for hardware 5. Wait for this, they're gonna offer this, wait for this. And then, oh, for this, they got this new color out, I'm late in this video. I took delivery of this car in March. But at the time when I did this video, just the night before, they just released the new color called Frost Blue. And I'm thinking, oh, I should have waited. But I'm like, hold on a second. Do I want Frost Blue because it's a new color? Or do I really like Frost Blue? Because when I was considering Model S, even if I had the money to order a brand new Model S, I would have got Ultra Red. Ultra Red is something color that just pops for me, and I really like that color. And I never had a red car, but seeing that on the S, the first time I seen it on the S, I was like, that is a sexy color. And I would definitely do it. And when I was taking delivery of my Model 3, there was a red one that was at the center, and I said, that was a nice color. And there was a Frost Blue, but I didn't gravitate that Frost Blue. So it hits me right away. I don't care about Frost Blue. Even if it was an offered color, I don't gravitate because it's a new color. Actually, I was trying to decide which color I should order. And I checked the inventory. I saw Quicksilver and Dublin Tesla. I saw red. And I think, you know what, they have both colors. These are the Ultra Red and the Quicksilver. I like to compare the two. And I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to see which one I would like better. So I drove down Dublin. Of course, they had the Quicksilver. It was saying it was there, but it wasn't there for me to look at. So they're like, well, if you want to go for a test drive, and I was like, yes, no. Cool thing about it was I met a YouTuber there, Nick Maria. I know he does the Tesla camping. I know some people probably watching this channel probably doesn't know his channel because I'm sure he didn't know. Obviously, his is more Tesla camping, but I did watch a few of his videos. So it was cool to stumble upon him. Just and I'm like, wait a minute, I know this guy, you know. But I met him and his girlfriend Dahlia. I met them at the Tesla Center, and they had their, at the time I think they just got their Model X. And I had, obviously it was off YouTube for a while, so I didn't even know that they had purchased Model X at the time. But again, it was cool to meet another YouTuber out there. But I went for a test drive on, back to the test drive, I went to the one on the Model 3 Performance. This time the sales, I don't think sales. This time the Tesla representative came with me, and I told him, I said, I want to punch you on this drive. I'm gonna put this paces. And he said, go ahead. So we did the FSD. I was impressed because I'd never seen the FSD in this version back out of the parking spot. And then immediately, I mean, we drove to where we needed to go and it parked itself. And I'm like, that's impressive. And I didn't know, I didn't touch any pedals, no wheel, nothing. So we took off FSD, and this is where I decided to put the paces. And I told him I'm gonna go this on-ramp and I'm gonna floor it, and I'm gonna hold it there to see how it holds its curve. And that Tesla impressed me on not only the straight line acceleration, but the road holding. Because my previous Tesla, straight line acceleration, at least from 0 to 60, wasn't my complaint. My complaint was the suspension didn't live up to the acceleration. You know, I know that they changed them sometime in 2021, 2022 to a more comfort suspension. And for me, that ruined my experience, because for a performance car, you're advertising a car for performance, but then you're trying to make it comfortable for everyone. You know, if someone wants a comfortable car, buy the long range and add the performance boost. Or I feel like most people will be happy with long range, especially when people are coming from, like, you know, 20-year-old, you know, Honda Civics that, you know, had like 180 horsepower, and they're moving to a Tesla. I think any person, the slowest Tesla is still like a 4-second car, 0 to 60. I had a lot of fun that test drive. I did. And I went home thinking, like, I think I'm gonna order one. And that's when we talked about, I think at some point, just debating on the 0.9% financing. So I thought to myself, okay, my current car, I'm at a 6% in my current car. It's an Audi out of warranty. I got maintenance coming up on it. I've already spent $3,000 in maintenance in the past year that I've had the car. You know, between the brakes and the routine service and other things I had. I think at one point it was covered because I had Audi Care, but long story short, I knew there's another service. There'd be 2 more services coming up, and the second one of the 2 was going to be the biggest one. And I'm thinking to myself, look at the money that I'm spending to drive this Audi when I have an X7. So when I say Audi, I mean like the SUV. So the RS3, I looked at the IS500, M340, it was everywhere. And the Tesla just makes the most sense. I had one, it just makes the most sense for me. It's less moving parts, I could just run the miles on it, not think about it. It's still fun enough to drive, but it also not Plaid acceleration, which I still, in my brain, my heart tells me I still want a Plaid, but right now it still leaves so much more on the table for me to where I want to enjoy my F80 M3. I didn't want something where it's going to overlap, like for example, my SQ5, too much overlap, where then I want to drive my X7. It's that because the SQ5 can do a lot of the SUV things. So yeah, so now next video, I'm gonna show you my delivery day. great. Now, obviously, you see that windows tinted. These are, I went to Expel X Ceramic, the Expel XR Plus. This is 15% here, 55% here, 55% here, and then 5% everything else. So limo black here. You can't tell anything back here, but you can see a little bit because the white interior shows through. Alrighty, hardwire my radar detector. Very similar to my last one. You got to pull off these things. I had a video of my last one. Kind of did the same thing. They ran a wire up the A-pillar. I'm not sure if you guys will be doing another video of the same thing again. But ceramic coated the seats. Full PPF. And then, let's see. I didn't do windshield coating this time because the car sits outside. With the windshield coating, it seems to be an issue with oxidation with the sun, so I decided to skip it this time. And this is a 2026. So 2026, you get the front camera. I did cut a little piece of PPF. I had a spare PPF I just put there because I don't want this camera to get damaged. So I just took a sheet and I just cut a circle out and stuck on here.